Another violent night on the streets of Philadelphia claims the life of a 15-year-old boy.
This time, a student started a fire that led to an attack on a teacher.
For a teenage gunman who left a 12-year-old
you saw there on 61st and Spruce.
And Walnut.
There is a firearm here in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia right now that are killing each other.
Claiming that the schools are far more dangerous than most of us can imagine.
West Philadelphia appears calm now, but in recent years, these streets have seen some of the highest murder rates in the country. Against this backdrop of violence and socioeconomic problems, families, mothers, fathers, guardians are still struggling to give their children a better future. What can be done for the most vulnerable members of this community? What is being done?
My name is Anthony Cooper.
Giselle Cruz.
Michael Athy.
My name is Mia Keys.
Jonas Harris.
My name is Jodine Gordon.
My name is Ashad.
Alex Adkins.
My name is Christina.
And I am a servant leader intern here at Shaw Freedom Schools in Philadelphia.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run.
It's Monday morning at the Shaw Middle School in West Philadelphia. The Freedom School teachers, or servant leader interns as they're called, are getting the kids ready. Meanwhile, coordinators Valerie Adams and Shanika Coleman are making last-minute changes before the Freedom School Day begins.
Every day from 8 a.m. to 8:30, we receive the scholars. They come into the lunchroom for breakfast. At 8:30, really 8:25, we transition over to the auditorium or the gymnasium, depending on the day, and we have Harambe.
Harambe means let's pull together in Swahili, and it sets a culturally specific tone for the day because the Freedom School is actually a curriculum designed primarily for African American children.
He does it like this. 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 He does it like
Harambe we do every day. It's a way for us to start the school day, to get everyone excited on the same page. Between 9:30 to 12, we are upstairs in the integrated reading curriculum.
Down in the slave quarters, or what used to be, she was sitting on the porch nursing a tiny baby. Then two children came out of the house. It was hard for me to...
The Freedom School's goals are to foster a love of learning, to build self-esteem, and teach neighborhood children how to be more engaged in their communities. Central to that mission is reading.
I don't know how long I stood there.
The theme for Freedom School is I can and I must make a difference in myself, my family, my community, my country, and my world. So there are 5 texts to match those themes.
Now the slave sellers say something.
A book that we read was A Day of Tears, and that was about the largest slave trade in American history.
He loved Dorothy so much he would have thought that I was a white man.
What do you think the master means by that? He told the slave that he loves her so much you would think he was white, meaning that a black man couldn't love like that.
That probably black people didn't have much feelings and that white people wouldn't give up on their true love and stuff like that.
I think it do matter that we learn about our history and about slavery, because if you think about it, if you ever think about it and you never learned about it, you'll wonder like where you come from, why is we black and why is other people white? You'll wonder all those questions and you won't find out answers.
They were excited to hear a story about slavery in a more vivid description with more detail and putting names with faces and talking about the emotional experiences of those who were enslaved.
Good job, good job, good job, good job. G-O-O-D-J-O-B, good job, good job. Remix.
Freedom schools are alternative summer and after-school programs that take place in communities around the country. The Shaw program was brought to West Philadelphia by the University of Pennsylvania. It's endorsed by the Children's Defense Fund, which also trains the coordinators and servant leader interns.
A servant leader intern is the equivalent of a classroom teacher. Their main job is to serve the scholars, to introduce the curriculum, to illuminate learning in a way that young people can connect with that learning and feel safe and feel like it's a place where they can grow.
I'm 19 years old. I currently attend Florida A&M University, where I study pharmacy.
Cheney University of Pennsylvania.
Temple University.
Went to missionary school for a year, and I'm thinking about going back to Bible school.
I go to the University of Pennsylvania. I'm going to be a junior, political science major.
So it was important to have folks who could work as a team, work in community, who were good communicators, who could think on the spot.
Life is precious. You should never take it for granted.
Life is corny.
How you get past that? It's corny. Why would you say that?
Cause we can't handle freedom. We can't even go to the corner store without getting shot.
So what can you do about that? What can you do to
All
change
this
it?
stupid police here doing projectile.
The police not doing nothing. So what can you do?
So I'm not here to judge nobody or to just be here like, oh, you had to listen to me because I do this. Like, let them say what they want to do. Give them an option.
Girl, your life story inside your head. Where you live, where you from, your family, anything.
My dad died. When I was 7, my dad had died. The red means the heart. That means I hope I see him again.
Can we think of a theme or a slogan that represents how we feel about violence and guns in our community?
It's bad. It's bad. Children are dying. Families are crying.
I was raised here. I feel the things that happen here. I know the people that live here. And these people can do great things. Unfortunately, there is something sweeping through our city, our entire city. Something horrible.
Read the paper last week. It said there were 6 murders in 2 minutes. And I was like, what?
Just the fact that violence is such a major part of their lives and they lose loved ones so frequently, I think that's a major thing that I see from day to day. And it's trying to figure out, okay, what do you as a teacher say when you can't really relate to that? I mean, I've had people die, but I don't have to worry about my family members getting shot.
Well, Shaw Middle School is located in Southwest Philadelphia, 54th and Warrington, 54th Street, Warrington Avenue. And Philadelphia, unfortunately, the past 2 years, this year and last year, has had an extremely high homicide rate.
So many of these kids have been through so many problems, and you wouldn't know it unless you really spoke with them and knew them. So, and they're incredibly strong kids.
These are the causes that affect children that affects our thing. 1, it is cancer. 2 is drugs. 3 is guns. 4 is violence. 5 is alcohol. 6 is children not listening to parents.
Y'all don't want to get hyped, get hyped. If y'all don't want to get crunk, get crunk. We won't stop. We won't stop. We won't. Get up, get up. Hey, let's roll. We're to the freedom
movement is a large part of our culture, or of African American culture. So whether that's singing, call and response. So that was a big part of our teaching and learning. That was a big part of Harambe, repetition with your hands, with your feet, with your body. So really getting up and moving around. The Freedom School model is, we want you to do the best you can do, but we also want everybody to do the best. So let's look at and pull all of our resources together so that we all can do the best we can do. And that is very much sort of an African American cultural element that, again, is taken for granted. So when you talk about teaching kids who come from a community where traditionally that's valued, working collectively, helping one another, and then you put them into a space where you're saying, you do this on your own, that sort of goes against what they're used to without a lot of preparation. So in the Freedom School, we just take those elements and we standardize. They're standardized. They're set up against, trusted, sound, educational principles, strong books, and we use all of those elements together. The scholars get dismissed by the servant leader interns. We walk them to the door. We stay in the area outside of the school in the schoolyard until the students are dismissed. And then from about 3:15, 3:30, we debrief.
And thanks to Mia and Christine for managing Jolene's students when she wasn't here. So I think considering the adjustments we had to make, I thought it went pretty good today, so that was good.
We want to ensure that they are definitely having a space, a safe space, where if it wasn't good, they're disappointed with someone else, at that moment, they can say it.
I just had a rough day today. My kids decided to mutiny for some reason. I don't know why.
If it is the cooperative group activities that are taking too long, make sure you're still working within that allotted time frame for cooperative group activities, and then fit everything.
Valerie is the site coordinator, and Shanika is the assistant site coordinator. And they're both grad students at the Graduate School of Education. And basically, in the beginning, they gave us an overview of what our responsibilities would be, help us with our lesson plans, the challenges that we may have. If there's a situation that comes up in the classroom that we can't handle, they come and kind of mediate the situation and help us.
And afterwards, I'll show you a picture of Mickey Giovanni when she was a young girl. Childhood remembrances are always a drag if you're black. And somehow, when you talk about home, it never gets across how much you understood their feelings as the whole family.
Dr. Diana Slaughter-Defoe was one of my professors at Penn while working on my degree, my graduate degree coursework, and was looking for a native Philadelphia, which I am. And she said, I think you'd be great. I'd like you to be our site coordinator.
There are several people here that are connected to the University of Pennsylvania. Valerie Adams, the site coordinator. I'm also a doctoral student at the University of Pennsylvania. We also have 2 servant leader interns who are undergraduate students, Jodine and Alex. And then through sort of our affiliation with professors at the Graduate School of Education.
In the office for you to sign up when you come and volunteer. Take a minute just to sign.
A key ingredient to Freedom School's success is harnessing the involvement of parents.
My name is Ms. Segura. I'm the parent coordinator here at Freedom School. I can be here.
Today, they've been invited to discuss parenting issues with Professor Howard Stevenson from the University of Pennsylvania's Graduate School of Education.
If you had a choice, right? Would you want your children to stay up late, get hardly any sleep, act evil towards classmates, look tired and worn down at school or church, and ignore their body's warning signals until they get sick? Would you want that? No. But you don't do that to yourself, do you? No. Right? No, you don't do that to yourself. You don't stay up late, get no sleep, don't find. But you just told me that the very thing that you said you wouldn't do to your parents, you end up doing.
So sometimes we get into that mode and we sometimes forget who we are, and I'm beginning to learn now that it's important that we know who we are and keep up with ourselves, because also it's not good. Our children need also to see that we're taking care of ourselves so they can follow the cycle.
Having the parent meetings also enabled us to connect with the parents to say, this is how your child is doing. You know, this is what we need your help with, or this is the strategy we're using, or did you know this about your child, or what can you tell us about your child? So that was also, you know, a strong element of Freedom School, that we had these parent meetings where we were saying, you need to be here. The Children's Defense Fund Freedom School model is founded on principles that originated with the Civil Rights Movement. And the Freedom School movement and the Civil Rights Movement had a lot to do with mobilizing a community. And there was lots of fights for equity in education and voting. And the Freedom School today, they're fighting for, I say we are fighting for very similar things.
Dear Senator Art Inspector, my name is Delia, and I'm 12 years old. In the 6th grade, we learned of many boys and girls sick of breast cancer, sickle cell anemia. If people get sick, they shouldn't need a medical card for everything. It's not right. People need help. People need to go downtown and support these little kids. Kids are special. If I have kids, I wouldn't want them to have the best. I would want them to have the best care for them. Senator, I really hope you take chances in this letter.
We have something in Freedom School called the social action, and we evaluate a problem we see in our community, and then based on the problem, we come up with solutions for it, and we actually carry out those solutions.
The Children's Defense Fund has called for a national day of social action on the issue of health insurance. Giselle and Tony are preparing their scholars before heading downtown to hand a petition to Senator Arlen Specter.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something about where we live, because I live in West too. Now, this area that we live, and I know we call it the hood and stuff, right? But you know what they say? They call it underdeveloped poverty.
The National Social Action Day was July 18th. We introduced the bill that was up in Congress to be passed, and that bill would have had uninsured children and mothers, pregnant mothers, insured.
Read the bottom part. What does that say? 1 in 9 what? Everybody read it.
1 in 9 children are uninsured.
Uninsured. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, Giselle, you can't take it. Sorry.
So we actually traveled down to Arlen Specter's state local office in the city of Philadelphia to meet with his representative.
We got the power 'cause we are the superstars. What is the shot? And I'm first on the list. I got my reputation 'cause I do it like this. He does it like this. He does it like this. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to get caught. You don't stop. You don't stop. You don't stop.
We were sort of held in the lobby. We weren't allowed to go upstairs, which initially that was the conversation. We would be allowed to go upstairs and speak with someone in Arlen Specter's office. And the scholars realized that we weren't going to go upstairs, that we weren't going to be received by the senator. We were asked to leave the lobby by security. So we were outside in front of the state office, and they were a little bit dejected. They were a little bit disappointed, a little bit saddened because we had prepared them to have this conversation with the senator. It just happened that that day Congress was in session all night. So Arlen Specter wasn't there, and the young man who was supposed to receive us was also not there.
Uninsured! We have the act that has the cure! uninsured. We have the act that has the cure. 1 in 9 uninsured. We have the act that has the cure. 1 in 9 uninsured. We have the act that has the cure. 1 in 9 uninsured. We have the act that has the cure. 1 in 9. Beat your heart! Beat
Samantha, 1, 2, 3. Everybody's going to miss all the interns because certain people didn't show us the love and affection, and when they did, it sticks with us because like we never been showed love and affection like the way they treat us. So guarantee people gonna be all crying and stuff. People gonna be all, oh, I miss Mike and da-da-da. I know I am, cause it's my buddy right here, like my buddy. You know, we play around, we have our times when I probably get mad and whatever, but we still kid around with each other, and I'm gonna miss him a lot.
They need people our age telling them how special they are, that they have value, and that physical touch of warmth. And I've noticed that that's one thing that lacks in our communities. So I'm here because I really love kids, and I feel like I need to give them what they lack, and I still lack it a little bit myself.
You know, they talk about how, you know, our neighborhood will never get any better. You know, nothing's ever going to change, but when you actively participate, things will be set into motion. And so this is my active participation in changing the lives of not only other people, but allowing other people to change my life. So that's why I love it. That's why I do it.
Who knew that in 6 weeks we would get children through 6 books? I mean, after 10 months of school, trust me, no one is thrilled about reading. A little less than doing assignments that involve writing. But we do it. And over time, we've noticed that the children not only do it, you know, because, you know, we have a lot of fun doing it, but they do it because they do it because of us. And we do it because of them.
And so we come in every day with the idea that all these young people are great. Their culture, their history is great. And we're gonna be living examples of that so that they can be the best they can be. And so as a site coordinator, that was part of my job. And as a servant leader interns, that was part of their job. And in turn, as scholars, part of their job was to receive that and be the best that they could be in a space where they could do that.
Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. Because in my pride was gone. Oh no. Something inside so strong.
2 more string bags held some fruit and drinks, a bean pot, a molcajete, a box of soap. This was everything they owned in the world. I thought they must be headed to La Capitale to try out